Welcome, everybody, to What's the Play, Week 10 of NFL and Week 11 of college football. We are back after last week's hiatus. I am Corey, joined always by Lucas. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you, Corey? I didn't realize we actually chose a name already. What's the play?
Yeah, I figure we'll stick with it. It's easier for the naming. That way I don't have to go back and name stuff. So, I don't know.
Vote on it, but I think that was my vote. What's the play?
Yeah, well, I don't give a shit what anyone else says. It's between me and you anyways, right?
Yeah. How the shit goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went on here last week, so we skipped a week. We're already into Week 10. The football season's flying by halfway through the NFL regular season. College football is winding down already.
It is really flying by, and even so's the end of the year. Really, if you think about it, there's maybe 6 or 7 weeks left of the entire year, which is just absolutely crazy to even think about. So, getting a bunch of snow.
Regular season for college, so it really is that time.
Yeah, really. The big games here for college are about to start here in November. That's why they call it, championship November or whatever. So, some good matchups. Maybe not this week. We'll dive into the slate as always and get into the NFL. So let's just touch on last week, even though we didn't get on the show. I know you had another excellent NFL week, and I had a decent college football week. So maybe let's just start with what was one of your favorite plays from last week that you hit or played.
Favorite one was Davante Adams. I thought he was done for the day. Got checked out for a concussion. He was in the locker room for like 15 minutes. I thought he was done for sure. He came back for that last drive. Stretch that part. It was a great way to start the week. Action on in the background. That might be messing up my internet.
Yeah.
You said there's not great college football games. There's some great action on today.
It's that time of year now where you're getting Maction on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so it's hard to pass up, right?
Yeah, so Davante Adams cashed me out with a nice Thursday night parlay and let me into Sunday. Didn't hit any parlays on Sunday, but straights were hitting, so I'm very happy with my Week 9.
Yeah, you actually cleaned up on the straights last week. Kind of got back to your normal roots there where you're just smashing straights and sprinkling in there with the parlays, missing by a leg or two. So it was great to see. That Davante situation was absolutely wild to me. I've never seen anyone clear concussion protocol that fast.
Yeah, when you're in the locker room for like 15 minutes, I feel like you're probably not going to come out. But he came out of the locker room for that last drive.
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was a Jet.
Yeah, I thought he was cooked, and nope, come back, save the day. So, but even though the week prior to that we talked about it was really kind of almost a must-win for the Jets, and that didn't really pan out the way that we thought. I guess that'd have been 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. This last week though did pan out the way that we said, which was, that they didn't want the Jets to lose on a Thursday night, given the primetime game, and that actually worked out just as we thought. So missed 2 weeks ago, but called the Thursday game. So that was, I guess, interesting to say the least. They're a mess. I don't know what the hell they got going on. Their offensive line is a disaster. That's always been their problem, in my opinion. And now their defense is kind of taking a step back after they fired Saleh. So we'll kind of see how they end up. Last week was a decent week for me in college. Week 9, just to recap Week 9, since I didn't get to do that, I went 3-1. Navy really shit the bed back then 2 weeks ago. And then last week, I kind of gave some early leans out on X or whatever. The Penn State-Ohio State game was obviously the game of the week there, and had a noon kickoff Eastern time. So, my big thing was that it was two quote-unquote loser coaches. They both suck ass in big spots, and James Franklin, and typical James Franklin self, again, blew it. But as I tweeted out then, was the spot was to take them live if you could, plus 7.5, and they just barely covered. So good game to watch, in my opinion, all around. Otherwise, the other spots I really liked was I took Iowa. My only concern there was they were thin at quarterback. They were really down to like a walk-on guy, but it didn't really matter. They just murdered Wisconsin, which I did not see coming. And then I paired them with Washington. USC did what it's done all year, which was losing big spots. They found the way to lose. They almost tried. They tried to win, but they did what they've done, lose. So we won there. I loved South Carolina. The running joke because I made some videos there, was that there's nothing more dangerous than arrested cock, and boy, they come through. They looked really great. The thing for me was when I'd watched them and gone back and looked at some of those games, just how dominant their defensive line had been, and they should have won against LSU. The refs screwed them, and having a great defensive line really makes up for a lot in college football. So, the one loss I had was I had a 3-legger, and I had Nebraska in there, and they just I don't know what they are anymore. I guess they looked really good earlier in the season, and now they just look like shit. So maybe that's who they are. I guess kind of a hard team to bet for me right now, but. What was maybe I'm assuming you watched the Penn State Ohio State game. Was there any other games that you liked watching last week?
I was watching Virginia Tech and Syracuse, and I had fun watching that game. 21-3.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. They collapsed.
That game actually pissed me off because if anyone that follows me on X, I was really annoyed with, we talk about that, especially with college. The reason I make my plays so late, Fridays, is because these coaches aren't held to the same standard as the NFL, where they have to be honest about injuries. Yeah. And what was it, like 10 minutes before the game for the Hokies is like, oh, Drones is out. And you're like, well, what the fuck? You're like, where the hell was that?
I mean, it was a game time decision, but it was on the injury report off, so that's trading. But regardless, the game that ruined my Saturday. I didn't watch too much college. Kind of ruined my appetite for college football. I took a nap and rejuvenated for NFL.
Yeah. The thing I heard
for a lot of the college Saturday after that.
Yeah, the thing I heard was he wasn't hurt. I guess it was illness, right? He was puking or something.
I think it was an ankle or something. I'm not sure exactly, but
okay.
A little bit surprised that he didn't play.
Yeah. So regardless, there was and even for Iowa State, my favorite team, there was guys that Coach Campbell had said.
I didn't see that game, unfortunately.
God, yeah.
That quarter.
We're not going to talk about the game. That was just an absolute malfeasance of coaching that I've never seen. But even Iowa State did the same thing, where Campbell had said that these guys were, likely to play, and then they weren't even suited out. So until these college coaches are held accountable and actually start telling the truth, it's just college is just going to be very, very difficult to play. And it's 100% why, I'll alt the lines and I pair them, because trying to be positive, have a winning record or, winning unit count, even with the limited information these coaches give us and the amount that they're able to lie, good fucking luck. So we'll move ahead to some early look ahead spots. I know last night you got on some action and had a nice little cash with Bowling Green winning by 10 and then Miami. And I think you took unders in both.
Shit off. It's fucking up my internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday night action play. Wednesday night action play is looking very good at the moment. Turn that shit out. Hopefully, my internet's a little bit better. But yeah, Tuesday night max. I don't think we lost a action play last season.
Yeah.
A very, very good action run. It was Tuesday and Wednesday night game. Gross weather like last night, a little bit of rain and wind. It's my kind of Tuesday night football.
Yeah. There are some interesting trends with Maction that you can kind of play. Generally, unders are big there because they're coming off limited rest. They're also kind of, I don't want to say this with certainty, but generally the quote unquote good teams in the MAC tend to win. There's just, from what I've noticed, There's just not as many upsets when it comes to these teams. So, if you alter line a little bit down, because with Bowling Green, I think was a minus 13.5 to win, I feel like. And
backdoor cover.
Yeah, backdoor cover, right? Yeah. So you just alter line a little bit, take the under, some type of under, not too high, and you're normally good to go. That's kind of what you and I did all of last year, and just to kind of fill the gap between the Monday and Thursday night game, and it's worked out pretty well. So we'll probably keep doing that. You definitely love Maction more than me, that's for sure.
I love those girls games like last night. Maction.
Yeah.
Some backup quarterbacks in rain.
It was disgusting to watch. I watched a decent chunk
football. I like to discuss football games like that.
I watched a decent amount of
this one game's actually pretty good. Northern Illinois and Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Then Ohio and Kent State. Kent State is the worst FBS team in the country. They're 0-8. They've won an FBS in a couple seasons.
Yeah, they're horrid. They're absolutely horrid. But and they're up 27, or Ohio's up 27-0 on them right now. Got a lot. Well, I guess the Northern Illinois Western Michigan game. I don't remember what the spread was but that's a 4-4 team versus a 5-3. So pretty close. It's 21. Third quarter just started, so there'll be some more gross games tomorrow on Maction, but that's not where our focus will be. We'll turn to NFL. So let's maybe do you want to touch on the Thursday night game now?
A lot of things I like in that game. I feel like that's a great builder game. I don't know about any straights. I was playing around a little bit with some of these alt lines. One straight that I really like, I wanted to get opinion on it. Actually, well, maybe it won't be sway, but Lamar Jackson first quarter under rushing yards.
What's happening here? Why isn't this loading? There we go. Sorry.
Props like this.
First quarter, I got props up. Do you want to look at what it is, or do you want to look at props? Sorry, what was the play?
I got FanDuel up right now.
Okay.
But there's a lot of builder odds, but I want to ask about Lamar Jackson first quarter under rushing yards. That one could be so sway, but then again, he hasn't had a design quarterback run in I think 2 games now. He didn't have one last week. Said that he's not an injury report, so not sure if he's 100% either that knee. Didn't practice a couple days last week.
See,
I'm looking at that. I feel like he might not run at all the first quarter, but of course he can break one for 20 yards.
Right.
I don't know if that's overthinking it, but I feel like that's. I don't put too many unders, but that one's. I don't know.
Like you said, that is let's go to props real quick.
Yeah, props Cash would agree with that. The under there. If you assume he's not 100% with his knee.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't run a lot against Denver last week. No big surprise
But he
there.
didn't have to.
Yeah, right, exactly. That was kind of where I was leading with that, right? Yeah, that's. I mean, Cleveland, Denver, all sort of thing. What's the line at?
I think it was 8.5.
8.5.
I
Wow.
know if props, but I don't know. Not sure if anybody says first quarter prop. I've been trying to find them. If anybody has it besides fans or DraftKings.
I don't think anyone has it besides FanDuel. I haven't
Yeah, I
seen
didn't think
it.
so.
I haven't seen it
I don't
anyway.
know if MG or somebody else, but
Am I fucking blasting past it here? Where's it at? Oh, here it is. No, it's alts. What the fuck? Oh, here it is. Yeah, 8.5. Wow, I actually do like that. Generally, those first
yeah,
quarters, yeah, I do. And then the reason I like that is something we talk about a lot is that generally those first 2 or 3 drives are very scripted. That's not, that's not
part of
uncommon.
it, part of the I've been looking in the first quarter the past couple weeks.
Right. And I think not Baltimore, Cincinnati is going to come in knowing that Lamar's a threat on the ground anyways. So why would you not? You're going to want to really protect against that. They're probably going to bring a safety down nearer the box, would be my guess. Just out of precaution against Derrick Henry. I wonder if they'll probably slide him down on the far side of the field too, would be my guess. But I like that play actually a lot.
Oh, is that overthinking it?
I don't think it's overthinking it. I think that makes a lot of sense. And at minus
under rushing yards.
Yeah, under 8.5, minus
Maybe
111.
DraftKings would have it like 2.5, but then he might not run it any times the first quarter.
Yeah,
I'll skip on that. I do like that. I like it even more, but with it, I feel like you have a great builder play with the passing yards, or even play the passing yards straight. It's like in the mid 230s now. I think he got a little bit, but with that, he hasn't been running, and he's been throwing a lot more. With the Bengals throwing him, a lot of builder things in this game. I feel like more passing yards, receptions, Joe Burrow passing yards, Henry rushing yards. There's a lot of building like they're not straight, but
yeah, I personally like Joe. I like Joe better because, I mean, surely I don't know how close this game is going to be, so I would think more that the Ravens.
That's where we started.
Yeah,
spreading the total.
My concern is if
they're.
What was that? Sorry, you broke up. Your internet's loving you tonight.
Oh, so we started there with the spread. That's the highest of the week. It's 52.5.
Right.
It's a very high, especially Thursday night.
For NFL, though, too. I mean, Jesus, normally the totals are in the 40s. I can't remember last time I saw one in the 50s. Generally, you're seeing 48 at the highest.
I've never seen a Thursday night football spread.
Oh, yeah. What was?
It's the last time you've seen a Thursday night game at 53.5.
What was their last few times they've played? See if I can Google that real quick. What was their scores? Oh, yeah. So their last game was 41-38. Jesus. Something that would be interesting to look at here is maybe look at some of the team totals. Oh, they don't have them up yet, but
it's 1.5.
Maybe it's under popular.
Game winner 53.5. You've got a great game for props.
Yeah. The only shitty part is you can't same game parlay. You can do it on DraftKings, but you can't do it on
It's just
FanDuel. Some of these totals here. I don't.
both teams to score.
Oh yeah, that's
I would
right.
pick
That's
that
the both teams to
Let me-
score. That's one we always normally look at.
Yeah, a little juice, but I haven't done my normal preparations. Normally I'd be doing that, but we didn't do our show on Tuesday. Got a
Yeah,
little
which kind of
distracted this week. A
yep.
little off my routine, but that's all right because I'm maxing.
Wow, that's actually horrid odds. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, that's a race too. Sorry, excuse me. That's even that one. Each team to score a touchdown. That's 134. Really, if you wanted to swallow the juice, that's a play. Both teams to score 20 is minus 174. That's disgusting. So, yeah, there's just a lot to like about this game. I mean, God, Derrick Henry at 90. What do you think about Chase Brown? I know. Oh, there you are. I know. Yeah. What do you think about Chase Brown?
So they traded for Khalil Herbert, and they said could play on the very interested. Much of run of Baltimore. If we get a receptions on, be on that. Maybe like 1.5 plus money.
Yeah.
I like Khalil Herbert a lot, of course, because it's a Virginia Tech, but I feel like he's a great player for Cincinnati. Like Joe Burrow is very happy with that trade. So somebody post Khalil Herbert line if he's going to.
And I'm sure you got you probably,
plus 550. I don't think he's going to score, but I like seeing receptions. Very sneaky play.
and I'm sure you got
Because he's also Chase Brown's up at 20 something carries. 25, did like 23, 27 carries. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a lot of touches. I mean, that's a lot for a short week. Now that Zach Moss is out for the season, apparently. So I would lean on the rushing yards with Chase Brown. So tough to run Baltimore. I feel like it's going to be a fast tempo game with Burrow and Lamar passing. I look for the receiving props for Cincinnati.
Yeah, I like
DeMar Chase. I mean, both of them probably. But.
I definitely like. I like Burrow to go over his yards or get damn near close because he's at 250-ish. So
that's the highest line. Yeah, I feel like he definitely goes over that.
Yeah, it's probably just high enough to hook you.
Yeah,
so
268 and a half. It's the highest line, but I feel like he can definitely get close to 300. Especially 53 and a half. That's a very high total for Thursday night.
I mean,
before we got out here, I was playing around with builder legs. No passing yards for sure.
I mean, Joe Burrow, 225. Receiving.
That's what I had, Lamar.
Lamar's probably, what's his line at?
Receptions.
Yeah. I just hate.
Yeah, I like that for builder legs.
Yeah.
The 225 for Burrow. 200 plus for Lamar. Minus 147.
You think he gets 200?
Yeah, definitely. Passing.
My concern is if they start running the shit all over Cincinnati.
I don't think they're going to be running like it.
You don't think they're going to?
Derrick Henry's looking outstanding.
He's been
Derrick Henry that.
What the hell is this? Oh, it's first.
The Ravens might have the MVP and the offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the season.
That's actually a decent little two-leg builder, though. Lamar 200.
That's a little bit juice. That's the thing. You want to get a third leg. And you
Yeah.
might get like an all-spreader and all, so you don't have to even risk another player.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you really
that's the thing. I like so many builder legs. I feel like I might do a couple builders. Do a receptions one. Derrick Henry.
if you put Derrick Henry for 50, that's plus 103. I mean, he's getting 50.
So a lot of different builder legs in this.
Really, if we wanted to bump the juice, you'd put it to 60.
I mean, let's do the 50. I like keeping the shit safe as hell.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. It's minus EV. Well, I don't give a damn. The fucker's gonna cash.
Yeah, I don't care what. I don't care what you call cashes.
Yeah. A win is a win. We could make one of these. You know what we could do? We could make one of these little suckers a nice little ladder. One of a ladder play. I mean, this is that. If you did this right here, when we're talking about 225, 250, that's plus money, and you could start the ladder. You could start a ladder challenge on that. And honestly, I'd probably play that for 1.5 units.
So
I normally.
his passing yards up.
What's that?
Talking about passing yards up is a little better. A lot of
Yeah.
like Burrow 300 plus. I mean, this kind of odds kind of suck. I mean, you get better on somewhere else. For that.
I think there's no reason to fuck around on this. I'm probably going to lock that in right now. Are there any promos we can use? They released them yet?
There's one for a live boost and no sweat.
The no sweat.
Live
oh, there we go. I got my profit boost on that. You know what we really should try to do? It's up to you. We don't have to. You don't have to. But we should try and use the no sweat with some first quarter stuff because you can get great odds. Like if you're not, for instance, we've already touched on that Lamar under.
I thought about pairing that with the 40 plus passing yards for the first quarter. Do like a half unit. It's like plus 170 something. So the same concept if it goes under is probably.
It's actually even gone down.
Could even move.
Mark Andrews.
So, no, it's Lamar Jackson going to be running. Of course, if he's healthy, he's going to be running. But Charlie Jerry, if he's healthy right now.
Right.
So it's just been throwing the best passing quarterback last few weeks.
Yeah. You could probably add in. Wow, that's not good odds. Never mind.
Where do you go? Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I was looking at Jamar Chase, but that's not. That's the odds on him are really gross. You could probably add in. You'd add in Joe Burrow, maybe. Would you add in Joe Burrow 40 for first quarter?
Probably. 40. I might get a little bit crazy sweat because I ruined my limits.
Yeah.
My limits in half.
Yeah.
I might go a little bit riskier.
That's true. So really doing something like that's probably not the greatest, I guess. Let's go here. Let's share this. See if we can't find something. Can you do receptions? I never remember that.
Receptions.
Nah, damn, they don't have receptions. That sucks.
Joe Burrow under 0.5 receptions.
Jamar Chase receiving yards. You could probably in the first quarter. Oops, not receptions. We want to do receiving.
I like his total receptions. Within the
they
yards,
have
like burn on the yards.
Yeah.
He's like 9 for 59 or something crazy.
They have him at 16.5. for first quarter.
Yeah, but you can't run on Baltimore. You got to throw them.
Yeah.
You can't throw them. Secondary's not very good. Run defense is elite. So, I mean, yeah, Chase would be the play for that one.
They're kind of being stingy
The
here.
receptions are doing.
Yeah, they're kind of being stingy and not giving a bunch of alts. Could do 10. I don't know. 10. I guess if you're going no sweat, you might as well go a little more risky. So you'd probably want to do like 10 yards there. You think Deontay finally gets involved this week?
Yeah, another one of the question marks. I'm not sure about Deontay Johnson. Didn't see any targets last week. And I think his line was the same as last week. I think it was 21.5. Same as this week. So that's just kind of a placeholder there. The books aren't really sure, I guess, either. What's going to happen? He could have 60 yards. He could have 0 again.
That's where I feel like if you play Deontay, if you're trying to bump it up, you might as well play him for 5+ yards first quarter because he's plus 168 there. So now you got four plays. You got Lamar under rushing, 8.5. Lamar 40+ yards passing. Jamar Chase 10 yards receiving, and Deontay 5 yards receiving. That's plus 734. Then I guess if you wanted to be a dick, you could put a touchdown score in there. Derrick Henry minus 280. That's gross.
That's changed. That was minus 300 earlier.
Oh my God.
He's going to fucking score. I did see an interesting play on FanDuel. Let me see if I can find it again. Oh, those odds went down a little bit. Derrick Henry to score a touchdown in all 17 games, plus 1,400. I honestly like that. Those odds are probably terrible, but I feel like that is a very good chance to hit. I feel like that kind of means something at this point.
Yeah.
Little touchdown streak. Of course, it did for McCaffrey last year. Well, he had like a 22-game scoring streak or something crazy that McCaffrey had. Was it something in the 20s?
Yeah. Here's an interesting play. Chase Brown first quarter receiving yards is only a half a yard, and it's minus 115. We already just said that you're not running the ball on them. Surely they're going to be able to get enough pressure on a dump off, right?
We have the receiving over rushing yards for Chase Brown.
They don't. Where's his rushing yards? Oh, there it is. I wouldn't take his rushing yards in the first quarter. They got 15.5. Is the normal line there? Whoops. I don't really see him. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Receiving yards.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I feel like I think if I'm going to do it for my no sweat, I'm adding his receiving yards in there. That's 5. That's 5 legs, and that's 1650. I guess I should have just did it on the one screen. That was kind of silly of me not to do that here. I'm gonna put. I don't know about you, but I don't know why I'm touching the screen. Like you can somehow see that. Where'd we go here? So we went 40 yards here. We said rushing. Did we do? Oh yeah, we did Jamar Chase. Oh, here we go. These are rushing yards. Went past him. Lamar rushing under 8.5. I feel like if you added Chase Brown in there, Jamar Chase 10. What is that? 1, 2. That's 4. Who am I missing? Oh, Deontay Johnson. There you go. That's plus 1650. The only leg you'd really be taking a shot on is Johnson, right? Because he didn't get any targets last
Risky play,
week.
probably.
Yeah. The only thing would
Yeah, but when
be
you talk about the first quarter, you talk about
scripted plays.
these teams have this scripted plays, and maybe they have something for him, a little screen or quick out.
Quick out, a slant. I mean, he plays in those positions, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. First quarter, it's got to be scripted.
So that'd be the way to play DeAndre Johnson.
Yeah,
I would think. But he's definitely a question mark. You have no idea.
Yeah.
If he gets 60 yards or 0 yards.
In my opinion, if it loses, it's going to be there. But for a no sweat, I don't mind that. I'm probably going to use my no sweat right there. I like using my no sweats on the first quarters because you kind of get the better odds there. Wow. Why did they bump my no sweat up? That doesn't make any sense. Generous of them. I'm maxing mine out. All right, no sweat placed. Woohoo. I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on playing Chase Brown receiving yards just as a regular play because, like we said, I just don't see how they're gonna run the ball, which generally that means you got to dump it off. And the only thing that would make that not hit is if the receivers are getting wide the fuck open against Ravens defense, that secondary, which they could. I mean, you got Jamar Chase, so it's possible. But I think the better play is the one you brought up, Lamar under rushing there.
I might sleep on that too, but that could be the easiest under. And of course, he could break one for 20 yards, but
the problem is
I'll sleep on that probably.
The problem is he could, like you said, he could break it because he's going to get sacked and then he just takes off and there's a lane and then he picks up a first down or some shit and you're just like, God damn it.
That's the thing with unders. You kind of overthink it sometimes.
Yeah. I really wish this your way thing you had because you can do that. Let me see if I can get this on the screen or not. So like even on the your way thing here in Colorado, you can do in the first quarter and then you can change it up. But the other thing that I think is really cool is that bit there where you can choose a quarter.
Yeah.
So you can do really anything you want. That. Yeah, so I can pair like these first quarter, like for the rushing yards, first quarter, I could bring Lamar up to, you'd want to look at props or something and see what his first quarters are. So 12.5. So if you brought it to like say 13, that's like minus 168. And you could say no on that. You could make some really nice 2-leg builders this way.
If you got the your way thing, you could.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you had the your way, otherwise, it's not really fair.
Besides, Colorado has it right now.
Yeah, I hope this is I hope this is a feature they give to everyone because this is fucking nice.
Sure, they will. Like eventually, just trialing out. Colorado gets to try it out.
I don't know why they chose Colorado, of all places, I guess. Maybe. Jesus, the things you can do. I'm not.
I updated my FanDuel app.
Yeah, I can't
I
do
did
this.
Not have it. It was worth a shot.
I can't do this on stream, but like putting Lamar at 190 instead of 200 is also like a great option. It's ridiculous. So, all right, we've kind of covered NFL for that game. Is there any early look ahead lines other than the Thursday night game you really like, or you're kind of thinking? I know
I'm a
there's
bit behind on my routine. It's been quite a week, so I'm hoping to get my. Well, I'll get some more work done tonight, but
yeah.
I haven't done too much. I know the Giants. I went Tyrone Tracy rushing yards. Got a 9:30 a.m. Eastern game. Get props for like half of these games, but
What a fucking awful
yeah,
game.
Lions Texans. I'm looking for Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins is going to be back this week. But yeah, I'm gonna dive deeper into these games tonight and tomorrow.
One spot
Be
I
ready on
circled.
Friday for
One spot I circled was McCaffrey was practicing, so see if
McCaffrey too. That's one of my other spots.
Yep, I saw he's
Off the top of my
practicing.
head. Yeah, so I'll get some more work done tonight and tomorrow. I'll be ready for Friday. Hopefully, get a couple plays in before then.
Yeah. I just want to touch on a couple games for college really quick. So the couple spots I'm kicking myself now was the Iowa UCLA game. Kirk Ferentz has always struggled traveling west. This line was at 7.5, I believe, plus 7.5. Now it's come down. Sorry, it was the other way. UCLA was plus 7.5, and now they're down to 5.5. I don't think UCLA is good. The problem is just that there's too much data always out on how sucky Kirk Ferentz is going west, and you add in, that what we've already seen, which is these teams traveling multiple time zones just can't seem to do it. The other one I kind of circled was the West Virginia Cincinnati game. This spread's kind of interesting to me. I like Cincinnati at home against the Mountaineers, who haven't played that well away from there when they're on the road. Sorry. The Navy South Florida game, I don't even know what to think about Navy after they lost last week again. The other one, where is it? Oh, I do. This one I find interesting, Minnesota and Rutgers, because Rutgers I was kind of early on was high on. They looked like they were pretty decent, and they've kind of leveled off, I guess. Minnesota has looked better. Obviously, the first CFP rankings came out yesterday, so that obviously the SEC bias has been quite heavy there. The one game that's going to be the one to watch is Georgia Ole Miss. I don't know that I think Georgia's all that great this year. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that they don't seem like the Georgia that everyone is, bowing down to, and they're just going to blow your doors off. I think plus 2.5 is an interesting line. I think that really tells you that Ole Miss is probably – I haven't looked at any of the normal stuff that I look at, which is what the money looks like, but I would imagine everyone is on Georgia at minus 2.5, which tells me it's probably Ole Miss is the play in some fashion or another. Indiana, man, they are just an absolute covering fucking machine. Everyone was kind of all over Michigan State last week, and I even had my doubts on them because they do have a very soft schedule. It's like the 110th strength of schedule so far this year. But Michigan's dog shit. I think they blow the fuck out of Michigan, which would just be wonderful. Iowa goes to Arrowhead Stadium to play Kansas. I think that spread's kind of telling. I'm kind of nervous for this game. Kansas looks a little bit better. They're coming off a bye. Iowa State just dropped the ball after last week on their bye. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with that play calling, but to be honest, I think I would hammer Iowa State minus 2.5. The only reason is that because when Campbell comes off kind of I don't want to call it embarrassing really, but it almost was embarrassing loss that he bounces back. I can't. His record off that is insane, and everything is still out there for him. The other game that I have two more games I really find interesting: Colorado, Texas Tech. Obviously, Tech just beat Iowa State. Colorado's now they're not in the driver's seat per se because they would need Iowa State or someone to lose ahead of them. But probably a couple weeks ago, I think the spread would have been larger. Now Tech seems like their defense has tightened up just a touch. So we'll kind of see there. I'm going to have to think about this game a lot more, look into some more of that. And the other one is, yep, there it is. LSU, Alabama. My opinion, that's almost a playoff implication game. Don't know that it will be because of the SEC bias. They're going to suck the cock of them as hard as they can. So, I, again, haven't looked at the early money movement. I would imagine everyone is all over Alabama, especially at -2.5. Don't know. Milrose, they haven't really said he's injured, but he has looked injured, in my opinion. He's not moving around as well as he has, and I think that's why you've seen Alabama struggle. My early lean there's LSU. If everyone is all over Alabama, I'm definitely getting on to LSU. Night game in Baton Rouge. Good fucking luck. That place is rough. The only problem is you got Brian Kelly as a coach there, he's what I think third on my list of absolute fucking fraud coaches. So you're asking number 3 fraudulent man to not blow a game. Pretty nasty work there. Is there any games, I guess, that are really, I guess, that you're kind of eyeing that you just might enjoy to watch, or you're kind of looking at maybe betting?
Skip past that Virginia Tech game.
Did I do it? I was just thinking. I thought they played earlier in the day. There it is.
There it is. 5.5.
Big game for Tech. The only reason I skipped past it is because I've had a hard damn time reading Virginia Tech this year. I just can't. I can't get my thumb on their pulse.
I wish I knew.
I will say my early lean is Tech. And I say that because Drones was out last week with whatever was going on there. He should be back this week. They fucking hate Clemson. Hate him. Rightfully so. I haven't been – who has Clemson beat that makes you think they're good? No one. So –
no one.
I also fucking hate Dabo. I think that guy's he's number 2 fraud on my list, right? So, I mean, for God's sakes, this is such a big game for them, and I really want them to go out and just roll over Clemson.
I wish.
So, I got to look into that a bit more. But I think that let's just take a quick peek at the money. See where that's at. I would imagine everyone's going to see 19 next to Clemson and probably bet the hell out of them, which is great in my opinion. Good. Give me Virginia Tech. Hopefully that line can balloon up a bit more, and then I'll take them even more. Let's go Tech here. All right. The early line. Wow, it's actually gone the other way. That's unfortunate for me. But here's your money line. 97% is betting money line on Clemson. Obviously, they're taking the heavy portion of the bet percent. On the spread, fairly even, 51% on the spread. 51% of the money is on Clemson, and they're receiving 59.5% of the bet percent. So that's about what I would want to see. So Tech is taking less of the bets, but the percent of the money is still about 50%. which tells me sharp people are all over. They were probably very early all over Virginia Tech there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of the slate. We'll have more to talk about in 2 days, as both of us we'll nail more down. As you know, obviously with college, I don't bet anything till Friday. Anyways, we got our no sweat bet in. I don't know about you, but I haven't locked it in yet, but I am going to lock in probably that 3-legger that we discussed with, what was it? Oh, it was, sorry, blanking here on my mind. There we go. It was Lamar 200, Burrow 225, and I think I put Derrick Henry at 50 or something. Yeah. That's plus 103. Something so simple like that. I'm probably going to lock that in for maybe 1.5 units. I try plays like that are just too simple. I feel pretty good about. I might try and mess around some more. We're definitely, both you and I are going to sleep on those first quarter props, but they were good to put in for the no sweat. So other than that, I don't have anything else I want to. I guess it's really on the list to talk about. What about you?
Be back on Friday. Ready for another nice football weekend.
Hopefully, after a nice cleanup on Thursday night game. Hopefully, a no
Be a good
sweat
Thursday game.
Yeah, it should be actually. We don't get very many of these. We've had 2. We had 2. I feel like we've had 2 good ones. Did Minnesota play on Thursday? That was good. I feel like maybe I'm blanking on that.
Last Thursday was fun for me. Texans and Jets.
Yes, actually, of course I didn't tail that one. So great for me. I don't even remember what I used my bet on there. So Texans. Oh yeah, so it was Texans and Jets last week. Vikings, Rams. That's the game I was thinking of. That was a good game.
That was a fun one.
That was a really nice game. Then we had a gross Broncos Saints game. 49ers Seahawks. That was the other one I was thinking of. That was good. A lot of scoring. Oh, I guess I forgot this one. 3. Buccaneers and the Falcons. That was a pretty good game.
Yeah, I've actually had some good Thursday games.
Surprisingly. We've also had some very dog shit ones.
Well, that's what you normally would expect.
Yeah. Oh, God, how could I forget week 1? Ravens-Chiefs. That was a great game.
That doesn't count. Opening night.
Yeah. Then we followed it up with a Bills-Dolphins game. Patriots-Jets.
No, that was a very shitty one.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll be back on Friday with more picks locked in. Hopefully everyone, locked in their no sweat if they want to tail that play. Otherwise, maybe lock in that builder play that I think that's really good. So we'll be back Friday with locked and loaded slate. We'll see if there's not. Well, we'll make our picks again like we have been. I think the last time we did it, we did not do very well. I don't know if I wrote that down. It was 2 weeks ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 and 6, much worse on our picks. After having a wild, right. Yeah, 9 and 6 on just the who wins the game, not actual plays. I want to make that clear. We're just doing the who we think wins for fun. It's harder to pick that than props, in my opinion, especially with just how tight the lines and stuff are. So, all right, Lucas, we'll be back Friday. It's great talking to you. Right. I'll see you in a couple days.
See you on Friday.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.